Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TGBtoys channel. Today, I am unboxing the new Saint Cloth Myth figure released this month, Virgo Shun EX, the successor to the gold cloth. The packaging design of this series uses a unified black background with character and zodiac portraits. This version is made in China, and the Japanese version has a gold background with a blue cat sticker. The side of the box features illustrations of the character in both human and cloth forms. Let's also take a look at the top and bottom of the box. The back of the box displays some detailed shots of the figure and pose options. The contents include 4 layers of plastic trays and an instruction manual. The first tray, which has a sealing strip, contains the base figure and most of the limb parts for the gold cloth. The second tray holds other cloth parts and a stand. The third tray contains hand parts, hair, face sculpt, the nebula chain parts, and one part of the revolving defense piece. The fourth tray contains 2 non-fixed nebula chains and the remaining part of the revolving defense piece. The metallic accessories include 1 chest armor, back connector, and a pair of small shoulder pads, 2 large shoulder pads, movable and fixed versions, 1 pair of large arm armor, and 2 small arm armors. The shorter ones are used with the chains. A pair of thigh armor, knee armor, and lower leg armor, 1 skirt armor, 2 types of freeform chains. The plastic accessories include 1 helmet, 1 abdominal armor, 2 pairs of hand armor, a set of figure stand parts. Finally, 2 types of chains. The face sculpts come in 4 versions: calm face, yelling face, smiling face, screaming face. Each expression is shown with both the crown and helmet versions. The facial details follow the same style as the final bronze EX figures, with more realistic and emotional expressions. There's nothing much to say about it. Personally, I think it looks great. For the hands, we have 1 pair of fists, 1 pair of 5-fingered hands for hand-to-hand poses, 1 pair of grabbing hands, 1 pair of hands to shoot the nebula chain, 1 pair of hands for the revolving defense pose. Finally, 1 pair of hands for holding the chains. As for the chains, there are a total of 4 chains, 2 fixed chains. 1 is for the revolving defense pose, requires simple assembly. One is the nebula chain, which wraps around the small arm armor during assembly. Additionally, there are 2 freeform chains. Compared to previous releases, the only major difference is that the wrist parts have a different color. As mentioned earlier, to match the chains, the Virgo cloth introduces 2 types of small arm armor, allowing the chains to be fitted into the hand parts. Finally, let's look at the base figure. It shares the same mold as the new Sagittarius Seiya EX metal body, with the hips and thighs colored in the signature pink of the Andromeda cloth. The metallic body looks great, with a good balance of tightness and smoothness. It feels solid when you hold it. Alright, let's quickly assemble the human form. When assembling the skirt armor, I recommend removing the side skirts first, as the rear connector is a bit small. Once removed, you'll have more leverage to place the waist belt in position. If the belt is not in place, the front skirt won't fit correctly. By following my method, this problem is minimized. To highlight the difference from Saga, we'll use the small arm armor that fits the chains. For the non-moving shoulder pads, assemble them as shown in the video. If you switch to the movable shoulder pads, they come with a back connector. Let's also demonstrate the assembly of the helmet. Alright, now the Virgo Shun EX figure is fully assembled. The assembly process is relatively smooth. Even though the Virgo cloth design is a bit more complicated, it still went together without much issue. The new chains and small arm armor fit well during assembly, with no problems. There are a few minor issues. One is that the lower leg armor and large arm armor don't fit tightly, and they tend to slide down. Also, as a figure that requires frequent hand swaps, some of the hands are a bit tight, making switching them a little stressful. With the addition of the metal body, the figure feels noticeably heavier. Holding it gives a satisfying, weighted feeling. At least in the early stages, the joints are nice and tight, making it easy to pose. As for the appearance, Virgo Shun definitely gives the Virgo cloth a different aura compared to Saga. Of course, it might just be a psychological effect, but at least it doesn't look out of place. I also tried swapping the rebirth version of the Virgo cloth onto Shun's body to test compatibility. The result? Basically, 98% of it fits. Due to the difference in the body mold, the small shoulder pads don't quite fit. The right leg knee armor is loose, and those are the only issues. So, if you're looking to save a bit, buying just the Shun body would be fine. However, I must say that the gold color on the Virgo Shun looks much better. Saga's shoulder armor still feels a bit too light. Let's now look at the assembled Saint cloth form. The assembly process for the cloth itself is also smooth. Particularly, the Virgo cloth's design is already quite close to the human form, so you can almost assemble it without looking at the instructions. As seen in the video, the color of the cloth has a slight greenish hue. Recent releases of the gold cloths have been designed with a similar color scheme, which makes me worry about next year's Ophiuchus. Aside from the color, the overall design of the cloth is solid and the parts fit well. Overall, my experience with the Virgo Shun EX figure. If this figure were priced the same as the Saint Cloth Myth figures from a few years ago, around $60, I'd definitely recommend it as a solid collectible. From the appearance to the assembly and posing, Virgo Shun is a great addition to the Saint Cloth Myth series, but in reality, its price exceeds a 4-digit figure and it remains a relatively niche character. So, I would recommend it mainly to those who want to complete their gold and bronze Saints collection. After all, it offers a new color scheme and a solid metal body, and it's a design that hasn't been released before, making it worthwhile for Saint Seiya fans. That's all for today's review. If you're a Saint Seiya fan, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.